70% of them don't exist. So we're evolving in several directions. The basic chemical industry is making polyethylene, polypropylene, is going to the oil industry. Right, so the national oil companies are taking that over. They're taking it over because they want to move their molecules. They realize that markets will decline, and they still want to move the molecules, they'll turn them into plastics. So they're heading down that path. So the big integrated companies are realizing we probably can't compete with national oil. So we need to evolve, and they're all evolving downstream. So basically there's a split now, what I call the commodity and the really specialized. And it's a race to how quickly can you get specialized. And the key to that, I think, is you can't, again, going through the third industrial revolution, scale mattered. Companies wanted to get big. It gave you financial strength and great power. Now we're going the other way. So Dow, we just did a merger with DuPont, became the world's biggest chemical company. Yay, raised the flag. And immediately decided we're going to divorce and split into three. Why did we do that? Because it's good to feel big, right? I work for the biggest company. Immediately we split it up for focus. All right? And scale still matters, but focus is even more important. So I think companies will become more specialized, more focused. So we split them into three companies that could focus on their markets. So I think the days of the big conglomerates, the ICIs, the Dows, the Bayers, are all gone. I think you'll see smaller, more adaptable, more focused industries. And some will adapt and some will die. Okay, I'd hate to predict which ones make the transition. Dow's been around 120 years. There's no guarantee we'll make the next 10 years. If we don't adapt, I think in this industry it'll kill you quickly. It'll kill you quickly. So you have to be able to go. But we now believe focus is the key, because I needed the scale for money. Now I don't need it. I can raise the money. Okay, I can get I needed the scale for technology. Now I can buy the technology. It's about how quickly I can adapt to my customers. So I think you'll see profound changes. And we have to deal with issues. And I think it's great a 16-year-old can stand in front of the United Nations and stick it to the man, right? She did a great job, and a lot of them got offended. Good they got offended. All right? Don't be scared of being offended. Maybe they'll just go home a little bit and think about it. And engineers have to do more of that. We have to be able to stand up and say, ethanol is not the answer. All right? Not, well, it was policy. All right? So I think we've got to be a little bit more like Greta going forward. And our institutions, not be scared to take a voice and an opinion, because the science, it's not always clear, but there is a right path and there's a wrong path. So like her, I think, the smaller companies, the corporations and the institutions and individual engineers are going to take more of a position on these matters. If we don't, it'll get left to lawyers and politicians. They're the last people I want working on science. It really is. And you go to the United States, 90% of the, I don't mean this in a negative way, but are attorneys and arts graduates, right? They're not science. China, 70% of the politicians have a technical degree. Okay? But we as engineers have to take a voice. We just have to, and we're not used to it. We're sort of used to being in the back, working on the thing. No, I need you in the front room, standing up and saying she's correct, we need to change.